Well, the president of El Salvador is asking a question that should be on the mind of every American citizen. And that question is this: is there a deliberate plan to destroy the United States of America from within? No, those are not my words. That is a direct quote from the president of El Salvador. Take a look at what I'm talking about here, and I found it on his Twitter page, and you can see he labels himself the CEO of El Salvador. I think that's interesting. But here's what he has to say to us Americans. He asked this question: is there a deliberate plan to destroy the United States from within? Why are the authorities and some of the media not even commenting on these things? Why are they letting their beautiful cities rot? And he references a post there that was published by the New York Post, who referenced Michael Rappaport, a radical leftist, by the way, who goes into a Rite Aid and shows how all the shelves are empty and how the store is closing due to the rampant crime. Now, here's the actual video so you can see it for yourself. Take a look.
Back in my Rite Aid, and there's nothing to steal because this Rite Aid, like so many other Rite Aids, is closing down because everybody stole everything. And the workers here don't know if they're getting jobs.
In other words, there is a major problem here in the United States of America with crime, and the president of El Salvador calls it out and asks the American people, why is this being allowed to happen, and why suddenly now is crime exploding all across the country? Now, obviously, in that tweet, he just references the one article, but I believe there's a deeper meaning here. He's really trying to ask us here in the U.S., what's going on that we are having such blazing acts of crime to the point where criminals can walk into stores, steal what they want, and basically DAs are wiping their hands and giving them a slap on the wrist for what's going on. And the question has to be asked, and I think it's a good question that he's asking: is there a deliberate plan to destroy the United States of America from within due to the brazen crime acts that are allowed to happen? And here's what I'm talking about. Let's just reference what's going on in massively Democrat-run cities, because in these Democrat-run cities, we've had explosions of crime. Here's just a few articles on that. This is the Washington Free Beacon. Murder spikes to all-time highs in Democrat-run U.S. cities. Here's another one from Breitbart News. CNN admits crime wave highlights violence in Democrat-run cities. So we have these massive spikes of crime happening, but they're only in certain areas for the most part in the United States of America. And it just so happens to be in Democrat-run areas. You know, cities in New York City itself, and many of these Democrat areas. So the question therein lies, if we've got Democrats now in charge of the executive office, aka the Biden administration, why now are we seeing such blazing crime? Is it being done on purpose to destabilize the United States of America? A question asked by the president of El Salvador. And here's something else I want to point out, is that George Soros has been funding DAs all across the globe. And these are the same DAs that are issuing soft on crime policies. In other words, they're letting criminals off the hook really, really easily. Here's what I'm talking about here. And this is on New York Post. How George Soros funded progressives, legal arsonist DAs behind the U.S. crime surge. And it says this: for the last several years, billionaire philanthropist George Soros has been quietly financing a revolution in criminal justice reform, doling out tens of millions of dollars to progressive candidates in district attorney races throughout the country amid movements to abolish bail and defund the police. And we're talking to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. It goes on here. Critics say the policies of Soros-funded DAs, which have included abolishing bail and, in the case of Chicago, placing hundreds of violent criminals on election tracking system, have led to a spike in crime throughout the country. According to the FBI, FBI's annual uniform crime report released in September, the country saw a 30% increase in homicides in 2020, the largest single-year spike since they began recording crime stats 60 years ago. The report also saw a 24% decrease in arrests across the country. Here's another one. This year in Philadelphia, a city of 1.5 million, had more homicides than New York and LA, the country's two largest cities. The city recorded 521 homicides, the highest since 1990, compared to 443 in New York, 352 in LA, and Chicago, the country's third largest city, registered the highest number of homicides at 739, up 3% from the previous year. And here's just to give you an example of how much money is being spent by Soros. And it says between 2015 and 2019, George Soros and his affiliated political action committees spent more than $17 million on local DA races in support of left-wing candidates. Millions of dollars is being funded by Democrat, radical leftist, elitist, globalist George Soros. Why would he be funneling all this money into DAs? Well, obviously, he's done this in other countries. And now we're starting to see a destabilization with crime here in the United States of America because of the DAs that he's funded and gotten into office. He's got some here in Arizona as well, by the way. He's got his hands in states all across the globe. And this is causing spikes in crime. Here's some others on George Soros. Jason Williams, the Soros-backed DA in New Orleans, who protects criminals over citizens. Here's another by AMAC.US. Outrage grows over Soros-backed Manhattan DA, who is off to soft on crime. Here's Fox News. The infiltration of woke DAs into the justice system will not be easy to fix, and it won't be. But this is what's been happening and what the Democratic Party has been involved in. Bottom line, that's one of the reasons that we have massive spikes of crime in the country. And that's not the only reason. In fact, many progressives and leftists and Democrats have been promoting things like, defunding the police, and movements through George Floyd, and all this stuff has been really radical movement against police. So quite frankly, Democrats are to blame, I believe, for what's going on. Take a look at this article in New York Post. You can blame Democrats for soaring crime and fallen police officers. And here's what the article details. Progressives seized on the community concerned over George Floyd's 2020 death at the hands of Minneapolis cop to press their sinister race-baiting anti-law enforcement agenda. Democrats, right up to Biden and Kamala Harris, pandered to them for base political advantage in the 2020 election. Biden might be flying to New York to offer Mayor Adams a solution to the law and order crisis, but he helped create the crisis by indulging in the defund the police, abolish prisons, and open the border, all of things which the Biden administration has had their hand in, to bully fringe of his party. He helped create a climate hostile to policing in which criminals rampage with impunity and brave cops like Mora and Riviera are sacrificed, and the poorest neighborhoods are literally left unprotected. So what does the Biden administration do? Instead of going and saying, hey, we've got crime problems in this country. Instead, Psaki shrugs it off and makes a mockery of the whole thing. And here's what I'm talking about. Again, is it being done deliberately, especially if the highest branch of office is mocking crime? Take a look at what I'm talking about here. This is on New York Post, very recent, January 31st, 2022. Psaki shrugs off crime concerns as part of an alternative universe. Take a listen to what she actually said.
Right now, just to give you a sense, so CNN, Pentagon, as many as 8,500 U.S. troops on heightened alert. Okay, true. Same on MSNBC. CNBC is doing their own thing about the market. And then on Fox is Janine Pirro talking about soft on crime consequences. I mean, what does that even mean, right? So there's an alternate universe on some coverage. What's scary about it is a lot of people watch that.
Okay. So there you have Psaki saying soft on crime. She doesn't know what that means. And people are living in an alternative universe. And because Fox News brought it up, somehow that's bad that people are listening to Fox News. And they know that we have DAs funded by George Soros, the Democratic Party, all across the country who are literally giving slaps on hands to massive crimes. And we have crime running rampant in our streets as of now. And Jen Psaki laughs it off like it's some sort of something we shouldn't pay attention to. I mean, again, I'm going to echo the words of what the CEO of El Salvador is saying here. Is there a deliberate plan to destroy the United States of America from within? And here's where I'm going to lead you. Go to restrictiverepublic.com. If you want more information on what's really going on, you have to check it out. And right now, you can get 2 months free. You don't have to pay anything for those 2 months. You can try it out, cancel whenever you want. Use the coupon code, the number 2 and the word free. The number 2 and the word free. But get there. I've got so many videos that you have to see. We've really been covering all kinds of information in detail, and I'm going to be releasing some huge reports today. But get to restrictiverepublic.com and check it out. But again, when do we start asking the question, is there a deliberate plan to destroy the United States of America from within? Again, that's not my question. That is the question from another president. And he goes on to ask, why are we okay with blazing crime? Why are we okay with our stores being shut down? Why is this being allowed to happen? And the only question that we should, and that's one of the only questions we should be asking about what's truly going on. And we have to start taking action. And as Fox News said, I love this, the infiltration of woke DAs into the justice system is not going to be easy to fix, but we do need to fix it. Or our country's going to look like Venezuela or Ukraine, where there was destabilization plans there. Anyhow, please don't forget to check out my partner, BioTrust at healthwithlisa.com. If you guys haven't tried this product, I really want to encourage you to check it out. It's really got some amazing stuff. It has 5 different types of collagen, and this has really helped my hair, my skin, and nails. If you're looking for that more youthful appearance, you want to get on some kind of supplement that helps you, and this is exactly what that does. So check it out at healthwithlisa.com and take advantage of up to 51% off and their 60-day money-back guarantee. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.